This week on No Cell Service, our hosts cover the action horror Resident Evil. This content is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised.
Oh boy, what a nice cloudy Monday afternoon.
Pretty gloomy. I had some landscaper show up at my door and he was like, I'm from California and it's real gloomy here today. And I was like, this is perfect weather. What are you talking about?
Yeah, our skin's not burning off when we walk outside.
Yeah, not too bad. Still a little, like I got in my car to come over here and I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Kind of felt like a toaster oven still, but not where I couldn't touch my leather steering wheel.
Yeah. I'm glad that we're covering Resident Evil because they just released the first trailer for the reimagining of Resident Evil.
Yes.
Which is being directed by our favorite,
Our
Zach
boy!
Kreger. Holy shit.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the director for it, so I didn't know they were doing a reboot. I looked this up to watch it, and then it appeared, like, the 2026 appeared, and I was like, why haven't I heard about this?
Because it just released, like, last week.
I am stoked for it.
I am too. I know a lot of people are like, that's not Resident Evil, but, like, first of all, you don't fucking know what's going to happen in that movie.
Also, none of the Resident Evil movies are Resident Evil, just as a side note.
Also that. But then when people started speculating that, I think a lot of people were upset that it wasn't a story about Leon. Everyone wanted to see Robert Pattinson play Leon, which
I could see.
Yeah,
why.
everyone could see, which we're still hoping for at some point. But people started to speculate that this is the origin story for the Merchant from Resident Evil 4.
Oh,
and I was like, that would be so fucking cool.
Okay,
because it does take place in Raccoon City. Also, Zach Kreger is instilling some of the game mechanics into the movie.
Okay,
so like.
What?
Survival mechanics, you know, like health and stuff like that. I can't remember the exact what it was, but yeah, he wanted to like try and kind of incorporate some of those sort of video gamey mechanics of like survival horror into it. So I'm really excited for this. Genuinely, I don't give a fuck what other people say. Like, this movie's gonna rule.
I'm excited. So my thing with Resident Evil is I don't equate the movies to the games at all. I always call the movies fanfic of the game, right?
Yes.
They took the idea of the game and were like, this is going to be a kick-ass movie, gave us Alice and said, this bitch is going to rock it. And I said, you right, because it's Milla Jovovich. She's going to rock anything she does.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And
holy shit.
I forgot about our second leading lady in the first movie, Rain. Rain's such a badass.
I fucking love that actress.
Michelle Rodriguez?
She's in so many of these like action-y horror, like thriller movies. But yeah, oh God, she's so fucking good. She's so feisty.
Yeah, nope, she is Dungeons and Dragons as well. Honor Among Thieves.
I didn't watch Dungeons and Dragons.
Dude, that movie?
Like the newer one with Chris Pine?
Fucking slaps.
I heard it sucked. That's why I didn't watch it.
I loved it. I had a ball watching it.
I love Chris Pine.
Have you watched the Charlie's Angels movies, like the old ones or the new one?
With Drew Barrymore?
With Drew Barrymore?
I've seen parts, but not like the full thing in a one
So
sitting.
those movies are just fun.
Yeah.
I don't really think too much about them. I don't even really know what the plot is for half the time. As Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu, and freaking I kept saying Celine Dion and that's wrong. Cameron Diaz.
Yes.
I just get to watch three beautiful women be hella badass on a screen. I kind of feel the same way with Dungeons and Dragons. It's not three beautiful women, but it's a bunch of beautiful people just doing D&D.
That's fair. And I think that's why I liked the more recent Star Trek movies with Chris Pine.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just him, and I love the dude that plays Bones, and like it's just a lot of really attractive people in space.
Doing
and like
space
just
things.
doing and so like you don't even have to like Star Trek, but like those are just fun.
Yeah. And so that's how I felt about Dungeons and Dragons. It was just
I'll
fun.
have to watch it. But we're not talking about Dungeons and Dragons today.
We're talking about Resident Evil. And also, before we forget, we are also covering this movie because we're going to stream us playing this. But if you're listening to this comes out after we stream.
Oh.
Because this comes out Monday. We're streaming on Sunday.
This next Sunday?
If you're down.
Yeah, Sunday should work.
So we'll be streaming on Sunday at a time.
At a time.
Who knows when? Again, if you're listening to this, you missed it. Why didn't you listen to us yesterday? Wow. You don't love us.
What the H, man?
I think we'll be streaming on YouTube. Again, also, while we're on the note of things, join our Discord. Come talk to us in Discord.
Yeah. There's a bunch of channels to do whatever you want. I mean, we have
suggestion box. We have just off topic. We have fan art. We have
post random memes. I mean, be a part of the community. We'll also like answer questions every now and then and like interact. So, if you guys suggest stuff and enough people upvote that suggestion or whatever, then we'll add it to the list. So it'll just be a good way for us to engage with everyone.
Go check it out. We're doing all of the things. We have so many things happening. We do have, I guess we can mention it now. We do have, instead of having a Patreon, we're going to do this thing called Stacked. It's very similar to Patreon in a lot of ways, but it's better on creators. It's technically up, but we have, I think, 3 tiers set up with the like placeholder things we think y'all might want. So if there's something else you would like to see in those tiers, let us know.
Yeah, we've kind of we brainstormed with kind of what we thought those tiers should have, but we also did that with the knowledge that that's probably going to change because we want it to be for you guys. We don't want it to be this paid thing where like you pay us money and then we just give you whatever we think we want. Like we want to make sure you're happy with whatever you decide you want to support us with, even if that's $1, that you'll still get something out of that.
We're trying to make it feasible in any way, shape, and form that we can, as people who also listen to podcasts and are members of YouTube channels and support creators as well as we can.
Support your creators, but also we understand you don't have to give us your money because that's why we put out this podcast
for free for a reason.
We'd love the support, but it's not necessary. We still want you guys to listen no matter what.
If you can't monetarily support us, join our Discord and support us there.
Yeah,
Have fun
join the Discord and hang
channel.
out. Put out suggestions for episodes, like you can still be a part of the community without paying a cent.
And there's also, on that note, so we're going to do the stream, and we are going to do our first book club meeting at the end of the month as well, which is going to be The Ring. Is our first book we're reading. That will be hosted by me.
Yep.
Our other host, we'll see how he's feeling with his wife, see if he can catch up or not.
Yeah, I've been really bad at reading.
Support libraries on top of it. But no, so me and my wife are actually going to host book club this month. We're going to do The Ring. But yeah, so we got book club, we got Discord, we got a Stacked. Probably don't subscribe to that right now.
No.
Because you're not getting anything extra, but you can if you want to. It's just up to so you can see what we're kind of thinking you guys would want to do. I'm working with an artist right now to get us little avatars, at least for Discord. And if it goes well, I might also see if I can commission them for some stickers.
Yeah. So
we're getting that kind of stuff in the pipeline. We just need you to get on Discord and tell us what you want from us.
Yeah. And, if you don't want anything else, if you like what we're doing and don't want anything to change, hop in the Discord and just share some memes. Share your thoughts.
Just send a thumbs up and be like, we're good.
Be like, hey, this part of this podcast was hilarious. And then we'll know which parts we can clip and then post on other websites.
But yeah, so I tried to balance it out because I did the calendar for this month and we had audition. And audition was a lot. And I originally had us doing one of the dark humor horror movies, but with us wanting to stream, Resident Evil got pushed up farther. And let me tell you, it's a breath of fresh air compared to audition of just being hot bitches doing hot shit.
Yep.
And dealing with zombies. So the thing with Resident Evil, if you don't know, is it's almost like 28 Days Later where they're like, they're not zombies, but they're zombies.
Yeah.
It's the T virus.
Yeah. It's like they're not zombies, but this virus essentially makes the brain synapses still fire after death and triggers their only primal thing, which is hunger. And it's but this movie does take place in Raccoon City.
Do they ever call them zombies in game?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think maybe in the later one, I don't know.
Because they don't even in Resident Evil 4, they just refer to the virus as Las Plagas, which is like the plague.
The plague, yeah.
But
I think that it's the same thing of the infected or the experiments or the T virus is broken out. They're just infected people, but it's essentially zombies. And it is in Raccoon City. We love good old Raccoon City. Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
It starts with
We get the computer screen opening.
The dude being like, I don't even remember what it puts up on screen, but it talks about the Umbrella Corporation.
Yeah, it kind of gives you a background into the Umbrella Corp, and it's saying
it's essentially the Disney of that universe, but the bad Disney, where they own everything, and like no matter what store you go to, you'll buy Umbrella branded chips and, you know, buy Umbrella branded medication. And
yeah, they're the leading producer in medical, healthcare, computers. They literally just kind of do everything. And I think when it comes to Raccoon City specifically, yeah, they have like Umbrella Corp, Walmart, and
they are the monopoly in which upon this city just has to deal with.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing with Raccoon City is it's Umbrella Corp families live here. It's pretty much like being on base for a military. This is like where those families live, and they have the schools district and all that kind of stuff. We get pretty much computer typing of this while a narrator talks about it, and then it like lists things that they're good at. And
but it's like the late 90s, early 2000s narrator, where it's not menacing and quiet. He's like, the Umbrella Corporation is a and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, and then it's like the old school typing of just like I always think of Codename Kids Next Door, where it's just like one letter at a time.
It's
and
the
it's all
fucking
blocky.
You hear the tic tac, like the Matrix and the fucking
like Alien. When we talked about Alien, it's like the old school computer style. Same, which is great. And then we get this is the weirdest shot transition of my life. Far out in the distance, you see some color of something. You're like, what is that? And it zooms in on this scene until it's full screen. And let me tell you, I don't know who decided to do that. That was weird as shit.
It is a weird transition.
But you're zooming into a fume hood, pretty much, it's fully enclosed. Are they still called fume hoods if they're fully enclosed like that?
Good question. I genuinely don't know. The best way I would describe it is a completely enclosed fume hood that has like the electric arms inside, so that whoever's operating on the inside just needs to like use the little joysticks control on the outside and move the robot arms to pick up and put down whatever.
It's fully enclosed. Like, you deal with things you don't want to ingest or inhale or spill. It's
biosafety level 5.
Yeah. And you have a guy in a full hazmat suit with like a reflective helmet so you can't see inside of who it is, loading up a suitcase with these things. And this suitcase is like really freaking cool because it has like the injector gun, and then you have the green and the blue T-virus, and you don't really know which one is which at this point. And he sets them in the suitcase and it closes, and then each corner of the suitcase has a level to make sure it fully closes and everything is fine. And then like as soon as it's closed and it hisses shut, the person in the hazmat suit like strips and grabs the suitcase out of the thing, and then grabs a blue one and tosses that shit across the room.
Just throws it. And then it cuts to that vial flying through the room. It crashes and breaks on the side of a desk, falls to the floor. The glass shatters, and then all of a sudden you see this almost like the heat haze of this airborne virus start rising through the air, and then it approaches the air ducts. It transitions to, does it go straight to the guy with the coffee?
It goes to, we get the dogs first. So it's
right.
One of the animal testing facilities. There's a bunch of Dobermans in cages, and the Dobermans are like just chilling. And then you can like kind of see the heat wave, and they start freaking out. And then it cuts to all of these different sectors. You were saying, the coffee guy, he's waiting for the elevator, and the person with the suitcase like runs into him and spills coffee all over him. And then you get like one of the labs where all of the lab technicians are coming in and they're joking, and you just get to see this entire office building and their day just crumble.
This giant research facility, these people having a normal ass day, and then all of a sudden what sounds like fire alarms initially goes off. And I think that's why like some people are like, oh, it's just a fire drill. But then like some of these people, like the dude who gets coffee spilled on him goes into the elevator with like a couple other people. You know, as this elevator's going up, it like stops and the alarm rings. And as these people are in this elevator, they're like, oh my God, like how do we get out? They hear a noise from outside as the elevator on the next to them, like the second one, the cable snapped and it's now flying down at rapid speed. And they're like, what the fuck is that noise?
And you get a quick shot like of inside of that elevator of everyone screaming right before it just
crashes to the ground.
And that's like a big fear of mine. And so the guy that got coffee spilled on him is now freaking out in the elevator. Everyone's trying to get him to calm down. They're talking about how it's supposed to take them to the next floor, and it's just completely stuck. then cuts to one of the labs where the sprinkler system goes off and all of the lab technicians are trying to grab the computers out of the way, and they're like, there's no fires.
The experiments now. And yeah, one of the girls turns towards like one of the cameras and is like, there's no fire, turn them off.
And that is something like you get a view of from the cameras in corners where you can see like it'll show you the corner and then you like get the POV of the camera that is then scanning people's faces, and it's like having all of these percentages and numbers, and it's just like scanning things. You're like, what is happening here?
That's fucking wild.
It's a lot. Like this whole thing is just this sector being locked down, people freaking out, and then something getting released into the vents. And one of the office workers is like, Helion, and then collapses. And she says something. She's like, there's no threat here or something. And is like trying to reach for the door as this entire office sector, the glass doors shut in. They all fall to the ground. You get the lab techs who are drowning in their sealed freaking laboratory.
Yeah, as the room fills up because it's completely sealed. It's just filling up with the water.
And they get one of the fire axes and start trying to chip away at glass, trying to get out. And
he takes a fat swing, and it only takes the tiniest little chip out. And you see that chip fly out and land on the floor, and you're like, well, they're not getting out.
They're not getting out that way. And then it cuts back to the elevator team where they get the doors pried open just enough for the smaller of all of these people, a little, like, very petite woman, to sneak her head out. And she's like, I can sneak out. And she's like, oh, no, I'm stuck. Like, you guys have to push me out. And
this elevator is, like, halfway up the door. So when she peeks her head out, her head is towards the top of, you know, the entrance to the elevator already. My first thought is, like, you dumb motherfucker. Don't stick your head out there.
Have you not seen Final Destination?
Well, she does. And then the elevator starts to go down. And so she's like, oh my God, pull me up. Or like, pull me in. It stops. And she's like, oh, okay. And then it starts to go up.
And then we don't see what happens. And it's
but you do
heavily,
hear
it's
you do hear the noise
yeah.
because it fucking takes her head.
So we just watched an entire research facility get shut down and murdered? ?
In
Sure.
like 2 minutes. It's a quick process. maybe like 5 minutes, but it is a very fast process.
And then it just cuts to Milla Jovovich. Ugh, love her.
Laying on in the
marble,
shower.
like a marble bathroom shower, passed out on the ground in the midst of a shower. The water is still running.
Yeah, like her hair's half wet. And
she goes and like wipes the fog off the mirror and looks at herself and is like, what the? She's out of it. She has no idea.
She's got a big bruise on her shoulder, like where she hit when she fell.
Oh yeah, there's the bruise, and then there's like a scar that reaches across here,
yeah.
And you're just like, what is going on?
Yeah, like
okay,
across the chest.
And she like puts a robe on, goes into, it's like the primary suite. So she walks into the room and there's a red dress laid on the bed. She sees oh no, she doesn't see that here. There's a red dress laid down, and then she's going through the drawers, and the first drawer is just a bunch of white t-shirts all stacked perfectly. And then the next drawer is whatever. And then the next drawer is a clear gun case with a keypad that all futuristic, obviously, so everything's see-through, because that's what it was in the early 2000s and 90s. Everything was, you could see through it, and that was the hip futuristic thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the fuck? And you can tell she's freaking out, because what is this? Who is she? She doesn't know what's going on. And you're like, were you kidnapped? Or did you hit your head that hard that you forgot your entire existence? Who knows? She eventually puts the dress on, and she sees a note that says, today all your dreams will come true, or something like that. And she writes it, like tries to write it, and it's not her handwriting. So she's like, okay, like I didn't write this. Whatever, I guess. She goes into the hall where we again get the POV of the camera, but the camera doesn't, with the other ones, it was like seemingly tracking people to murder them. Mm-hmm. Like the camera, or the person behind the camera, activated the Helion gas. It activated the whatever. Like you get the feeling that the camera, or who is behind the camera, is murdering these people. And it tracks Alice, and it's fine. It lets her be. Once out of the primary into the hall, she picks up a photo of her in a wedding dress with this man. And she looks at her wedding ring. She's like, okay, I'm married. And she gets this quick flash of, I think, their wedding day or them having sex. I can't remember which one it is.
There's like 6 different flashbacks in this movie. They're all pretty quick. So yeah, I think it's them like tussling in bed and like being hella happy together.
And then she sees a reflection in the frame and turns around real quick. And one of the statues is covered in plastic, like they were renovating, maybe. And so it's flapping in the wind, and she goes to check it out. She gets outside and just kind of bellows a hello, and the birds take off like they ain't ever heard a sound in their life. They still hoard a knowledge of owls, a murder of crows, whatever, a magpie coliseum, I don't know.
A group of birds.
Just leaves the forest, and this giant, like thousands of them leaving, like they've never heard a sound in their life. It's wild.
And then that old trope where the wind blows really hard and then it cuts to the camera like being the wind pushing towards the person as like the leaves are, you know, also blowing. It, you know, there's like a big gust of wind and it kind of spooks her. So she goes back inside, and then, oh God, it turns out the wind is a helicopter, and Black Ops teams descend into this mansion, breaking through windows, getting everything, and I thought he was her husband at first, but it's not. His name is Matt. They grab Matt, they handcuff him, and he's like, no, I just transferred here. And one of them goes straight up to Alice and says, Report. And she's like, what? And he's like, report, soldier. She's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I need you to report what the fuck's been happening.
And then I don't know, I wasn't able to get her name, but I just call her the medic, comes in. It's the gas. Like, this is just a side effect. She doesn't remember. Like, you're fine. We need to get going.
Side effects are still wearing off. We need to go.
And
you're like, she says, what the fuck is happening right now? If you've never watched this before, or if you don't even know what Resident Evil is about, you're definitely gonna be like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah. So the guy who gets arrested is Matthew Addison. They don't really do much with him. He's not suffering side effects, but the mansion's defense system has gone on. And then we have Rain. What did she say? Like, want me to off him? Want me to take care of him now? And is just ready to shoot Matthew.
Yeah.
And the guy who asked Alice to report, his name is James Shade. I don't think they say his name throughout it at all, but in quotations they have one. So I just call him One throughout the rest of the movie. He looks at Rain and says, no, they're coming with us. So they oink both of them, getting through the mansion, getting down to
this like underground area where there's a train.
Yeah. They get Alice gets One to explain what the hell is happening. He's like, we're going down into the hive. This is a fake entrance that you were sent to guard, and blah blah blah. And just down in this, it looks like a train platform where there is a train car that is a third of a train car size.
Yeah. It's
like a little tram that they get inside, and they're going into the hive to deal with something.
Yeah, they show her this like, oh wait, no, did they not show the hologram yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, well.
They get into the train, and then Rain can't get a door open, so JD has to get it open. You bitching about her. Not really. He's like, oh, do you need me to take care of that for you? Being all like posturing. Gets the door open, and husband is passed out in there.
That's right.
And he's also suffering from the consequences of the defense system and has zero memory of what's going on. We get another flashback of them doing the deed, and she's like, oh, I guess this is my husband.
Yep.
She takes off her ring, though, and inscribed in her ring is property of Umbrella Corp.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. Later on in the movie, you'll understand why there's multiple layers to that, but like it's just like that's like really good. Yeah. I just really like, it's perfect. It's the perfect touch.
Oh yeah. So they get him up and into the train, and once the train stops, JD takes point to breach the hive system. So they explain a lot and nothing all at the same time.
Yeah.
The hive, at some point they explain it, so we're just going to do it here. The hive is the research facility. It's a secret underground research facility that Alice and Spence are set to guard. They're actual Black Ops agents as well. They work for Umbrella Corporation. Their marriage is a sham. It was just meant to make the locals feel at peace and to have another entrance to get into the hive, where genetic testing and a bunch of other shit happens. It's all top secret.
It is and I need to point out that this research facility, when they show it on the hologram, they do like, you see a full picture of the city. The city's big. When they show you the underground part in the hive, it looks like a beehive. Like, yes. It's in that like like circular, like
spiral
kind of
downing.
oblong, spiraling down kind of shape with like all the layers, like all the floors. And this thing is almost as big as the city.
Mm-hmm.
It is fucking huge. It's not just like a little 30 rooms and a couple bathrooms. Like this place is you could live down here.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just a bunch of weird facility stuff. And I love old movies they also explain that they have heat signatures on the map of who they are, which is always a thing in classic movies with any type of blueprint. Mm-hmm. You always know where you are. You have Kaplan, who is their hacker boy, and he's got on his arm, he's got like the brace of the map where he can follow, and he's like, oh, this is where we need to go, and this is gonna take us through here.
I like to call that the Predator Watch.
Oh,
because it's like the fucking wrist thing that like you flip open the tab. Like
I always think I'm not a sports person, but I always think of like quarterbacks have the
no, that's funny. That's funny.
That's exactly what it is. And so Kaplan's leading. They get him through this area, and then they get to like a lab kind of labyrinth where it's a bunch of stainless steel doors and stuff. And Kaplan's like, hey, it's going to take us through all of these labs. It's a shortcut. Like, this is the way we got to go. But there's flooding happening. You can see that these big tanks that were probably not tanks, they're probably labs, are one's shot and it's spewing water out. So Rain and, is it Kaplan or JD? I can't remember exactly. Rain and one of the boys, goes to check out the labs while he explains kind of what's happening. And then they get jump scared by a dead body floating down into view up against the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Spence gives Alice his jacket, which gives her signature look for the rest of the movie, which is this weirdly A-cut line dress with knee-high boots and a leather jacket.
It's fucking great. Honestly, it's so iconic, though, because when you think of Milla Jovovich, you think of either orange hair and, like, wearing tape, essentially.
Yep.
Or you think of her in the red dress and also the jacket. Yeah. Oh, it's so fucking badass.
Dude, okay, but was it Resident Evil, is it 3 or 4 when they're in the desert and she's got the shotgun and she loads it with the quarters?
Oh god, is that, I don't remember.
It's 3 or 4, it's whatever when they're in the desert. I can't remember which one it was called, but like she's got this 2-barrel shotgun that she ends up having to stick quarters in, and that scene, so good.
I need to rewatch the rest of them because the first one I remember the most. Well,
okay, so Rain and whatever boy it was goes to check out the labs, and one explains that they are getting to the heart of the hive, which is the Red Queen. She is a computer system who takes care of everything, and no one knows why she shut down the hive. Mm-hmm. And so this team is here to figure out what the hell went wrong, what do they need to do. Oh, and they also know everyone's been murdered. So she shut down, murdered everyone, and they're like, question mark?
Fuck? Yeah.
Alice gets some more flashbacks of Spence, and again, like we get flashbacks, a lot of flashbacks as we're going. Rain comes back saying the whole floor is flooded and there's no way they can get through, like they have to take a different route. One is upset because he's like, we're already behind schedule, let's get the fuck out. Mm-hmm. The dead body, as they're like everyone's out of the way, just raises a hand. If we didn't mention this at the top, there's a lot of jump scares, and they heavily rely on music for a lot of these jump scares.
Yeah, this was back before directors took the suspense to an 11 before hitting you with something scary, and they'd like to just interrupt scenes, which, like, it's not bad, right? Like, that's not a bad way to do it. You just, the timing has to be right, and I think the timing is right in this movie. Like, there was never a jump scare where I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I wanted to finish that conversation. I don't know.
No, all the jump scares were good. It's just my gripe. We've talked about this plenty of times that I hate it when the jump scare is the music hits 11.
It's a bit of a crutch. But I think it wasn't looked at back then that way because that was just what jump scares were. You know? Now it's evolved. 24 years later, horror movies have evolved.
Yeah, believe it or not, those things happen.
And I mean, my God, if they evolved into the right direction. Yeah, it definitely, sometimes it doesn't hold up as well as, other movies might.
They get into a room and Kaplan says, he's looking at his little watch and he says, this should be the dining hall. And you look around, it's not a dining hall. At first you're like, is this a storage room? Is this it almost kind of looks like a server room.
Mm.
You know, you got these big towering things that you can't see into, and you could kind of maybe see them as servers until Kaplan says that the levels of Helion are not, I think it's Helon? Helon? Halon is what it's called if I'm Helon. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I guess.
Helen
is not in the room today. No, it's stated that there are 0 levels of Helon in this room. So one orders a sweep, saying there could be survivors. Keep it tight. Look around.
Mm-hmm.
My wife pointed out, why are the people who don't remember things participating in this sweep? And for me, they are, because they're technically soldiers.
Yeah.
They might not remember their soldiers, but you still have to follow orders.
I almost wonder if it, like, the rest of the team thinks that pushing them into the situation will kind of, like, jumpstart remembering some stuff, or just kind of, like, you know, maybe they just have some of those basic instincts still within them, and it's just a matter of, like, putting them in a situation to, like, drag it back out.
Yeah. Alice looks into one of these server holder thingies, and it's actually a cage with a fleshy thingy inside of it. Has a bunch of tubes, sedating it, feeding it, growing it. Who knows?
It's gross. That's what I know.
It's very gross. It's very fleshy and gooey and not lovely.
The stuff being pumped into it isn't good looking stuff either. It's like muddy, gross looking, like, I don't know. It's not a good time to look at. No,
and we get a startle. I won't call it a jump scare, but a startle as one comes up behind Alice saying, "I said keep it tight." What did she say? Something about not wanting to remember, and he looks at her and is just, yeah, I don't blame you. You're like, oh, yeah, you're like a Black Ops team. You probably have seen a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Don't blame you for not wanting to remember.
Mm-hmm.
Kaplan has to fight back against the Red Queen to get into certain areas. She's trying to keep them out of places, and he's, again, their little hacker boy who does his little thing so they can get into places. This is where I was like, we might hit an AI tangent, because this is why you don't put computers in charge of stuff, because computers don't deal in nuance. And the Red Queen specifically, like, we'll hear from the Red Queen later, who says, I did this because this is protocol, and I was not told to tell you why I did it, right? So, like, if a human was in charge of the situation, you would have heard what was going on from the human. But because the computer was not programmed to explain their actions, no one knew what happened.
Yep. Hey, man, it's happening today. People are getting fucked over because AI is, like, being used too soon by major companies that have other people's lives in their hands. And they're just like, let's cut costs and make it easier for us and fire a bunch of people and just make AI do it. But then the AI fucks it up and screws people over.
On the flip side of that, I did hear about this company who handles, like, fixing mistakes in code. They're doing great, because it takes them like 3 days to fix something AI broke when it would have normally taken them like 2 hours to do it right. So the CEO of that company is a woman, and she was like, I'm fine. AI's not taking my job. It's giving me more work. So
what a way to adapt with the times.
Exactly. She's like, y'all do your thing. I'm doing great over here.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, and that'll become common practice eventually. Like, I guarantee you that those will become a normal place where you just, like, go to be like, hey, I need you to, like, fix this because AI fucked it up.
Yeah, I'm just praying to every god that exists that this AI bubble bursts and everything just collapses and AI becomes not a new shiny thing that everyone wants to touch.
I'm hoping by 2030 there will be a new big trend, or a big wave of something new, just so that we can just so that people realize the limits that we have right now with it, and, like, where we need to put the line in the sand before we just fucking let loose and let it do whatever because we're fucking lazy.
Our laws need to catch up to technology before we start doing shit like this, because there are copyright lawsuits, there are privacy lawsuits, there's so many things happening that our laws cannot keep up with because old people run the world and they are slow.
Yep.
And then to continue, one is getting...
I like that rant. That was one of the better rants that we had. It wasn't very long. It was pretty succinct. It was to the point. It was very powerful.
Yes.
It's all bullshit.
Fuck AI.
Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but...
No, you're good. So Kaplan sits down at pretty much this just like central computer desk, hacking into a door that leads to the mainframe of where the Red Queen is. In this room, this hallway to get to the Red Queen's area is so fun if you don't know what's happening. Because he gets the door open, one goes down, he goes down by himself, because he's a good leader, goes down, he gets to the keypad, touchpad area. I love what hacking used to be. He has what would you call it? It's like a little cell phone or a little Tamagotchi that he sticks to the wall, just sticks on the panel, above not tapped into anything, it's just on top. And Kaplan can hack into the machine with that, gets the keypad thingy open, and one does a quick sweep from side to side and sends the troops forward with essentially an EMP. They're gonna send an EMP in the Red Queen, get her to malfunction, reset everything is the goal, right? Mm-hmm. Well, this hallway that one has gone down is just lit with these fluorescent bulbs, top to bottom. They're probably thick, like a 2 feet wide walls on either side of just fluorescent tubing light.
Yeah.
And as a viewer, you kind of look at this like, wow, set dressing had a lot of fun today. This is so out of place and weird.
Yeah.
Whatever, I guess.
We're in the glass room now.
They just
wanted
part
of this fun house.
They just wanted it to look futuristic, whatever. Until 4 of them are all trapped in there.
Yeah, the door locks, and like it does a dramatic zoom in on the door as because the gears are on the outside, so you can see the gears turning as it locks. So and then they start to panic. And a laser beam kicks on. One drags one of them down, another guy down, who gets his fingertips just sliced off from like the first knuckle across in an angle. The other guy, I think, is able to jump or duck under it. The girl medic, the woman medic who is with them, just freezes. Fight, flight, freeze. Stares, gets decapitated in the way of just freezing there. And then the laser just goes straight through, and she looks normal until her head, like you just see the red line appear and her head fall off. Yeah, it's pretty gruesome because she's just standing there, and then all of a sudden you see like the red line stretch from the back of her neck towards the front, and then all of a sudden her whole head just slides off, and you're like, oh my god. And then
it keeps going. So the next one is...
it starts throwing out more lasers.
Yeah, so we get one where they like are able... it's at the feet. They jump over it. One guy tries to jump, and then it cuts him in half. He gets hit in the torso, cuts him in half. He falls. There's 3 or 4 of them.
I think there's 4.
There is 4. I can't remember how the 4th one dies. He got his fingertips cut off, and then I don't know how he dies.
I don't remember how the dude with the fingertip getting cut off dies, but I do know how one dies.
Yeah, so the 4th one dies somehow. I don't know.
Maybe he just like didn't like get back down when he like stood up when the other one came at the... I don't know. I didn't see. It all happens pretty quick.
It's very quick, and I was playing it off of... because the missus wanted to watch it with me. So I had her laptop plugged into the TV, nice. So I could not pause while I was doing notes.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to pause through any of this, so my everything was just happening very fast.
It's okay. I was struggling to grasp holding on to the movie at first, just because we had our appointment and that's all I could think about. But at a certain point, it kind of evened out a little bit. But yeah,
there's a lot of scenes that happen, and I don't know how people got to where they are though. It's a very disconnected movie with things.
There is one scene where I think I remember being like, wait, what the fuck? What just happened? Like, you were supposed to be right there, or he was supposed to have this. Why do you... what? Okay, well, it's fine.
Yeah.
I did have one of those moments. It was so sudden. I couldn't even point it out, but I know it happened.
Yeah, there's a few scenes where I was just like, okay, I guess everyone's separated. How did that happen? ?
Yeah.
But one is left because he does the cool thing though. He grabs bars on top to not be caught by the laser, and just yoinks himself up pull up style, and his knife blade gets cut in half that's hanging off of his belt. But when he drops back down, he's ready for the next laser. It's coming at his face, and then it grids not chicken wire.
Into a lattice.
Into a lattice.
Of just this crosswork of lasers there is no escape from this.
No.
it is a wall that will slice you into at least 32 different pieces, if not more.
And he just takes it full force.
He just stands there and kind of accepts it because he's not got nowhere else to go. And it just goes through him. And
Alice is watching the entire time because there's a little glass window she gets to look into.
She watches him just kind of fall apart into all these pieces. And you don't see it head on. You see like the side of his head and then behind him, you know, so you can see Alice. And so you only see like one of the halves of his head fall off, but you can tell that he's in a lot of pieces.
It's wild. This is kind of one of my favorite. I love fun deaths. This one's a fun death. 13 Ghosts, where the lawyer gets split in half, is a fun death. You haven't seen Ghost Ship, but that has one of the most killer opening deaths. Serial deaths. There are 200 people that get murdered in one go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really good. It's a fun death.
Yeah.
That is the best part of that movie. So that happens. Kaplan, we didn't really talk about Kaplan. Kaplan was trying to get the doors open this entire time. Everyone wasn't just like sitting by. He gets the door open as soon as as one gets just shredded. So the door's open and he just piles his body. And Kaplan's like, we have to finish the mission. Like everyone just freaking died. We have to continue. Matt and Spence are like, dude, we're not going down there. Fuck you. Like, no, this is not happening. Obviously, Alice follows him. He goes, they get to this room, and it's not what you expect a computer mainframe room to be. There's like pillars, it's very small. They have to touch something on the floor, and the cylindrical metal thing pops up, and there's a hole at the top that they have to slam this EMP device into, and the whole time the Red Queen appears as a hologram of a child. It's
creepy as fuck.
Creepy as fuck. It's modeled after one of the... In-universe, I don't know, outside of universe. In-universe, it's modeled after one of the devs' daughters.
Interesting.
They state that, yeah, they're like, oh, it's one of the coder's daughters. They modeled it after her. And I was like, why would you have a whole system that... Are you whipped by your daughter that bad? That you're like, you know what? Who would rule this place fantastically? My daughter.
Yeah.
Who's 12.
100%. Love it. Well, 12-year-old girls are probably very, very sassy.
They're terrifying.
Yeah, I'm slightly terrified. We don't have a girl yet, but, you know, that's what we're trying to do with all this, so.
Kaplan hits the EMP, goes off, unceremoniously goes off. Mm-hmm. And the right beforehand, because, like, again, the Red Queen is begging them to not do this. Right before it happens, her face looks over and says, "You're all gonna die down here." Mm-hmm. And having a 12-year-old say that is wild.
Yeah, because it's a 12-year, like, it's the 12-year-old voice and everything. It's very ominous.
Red Queen goes down. All of the doors, all of the lights, everything shuts down. So with all of the power out, with the Red Queen down, the doors open and things open and you can get everywhere. And Kaplan says he's got 30 seconds to configure something or another because of a motherboard or blah, blah, I don't know. Smart humans' words with computers that may or may not make sense now. Matt didn't say it. Upstairs is Spence and Alice and Kaplan. Down in the weird cell holding area, train platform, whatever, where all of those weird cells were with the weird fleshy things being ingrown, Matt is down there with Rain and JD. They split up. Don't know why.
Yeah.
They hear a noise. Rain goes to check it out, like the badass she is, and sees a doctor leaning against a wall, kind of messed up a bit. And Rain's like, oh, JD, we got a survivor. Goes over, tries to talk to the doctor. Doctor turns, attacks Rain.
Yeah, full on T-virus style. I won't say zombie style because it's not. It's just whatever the T-virus, how it works, you know.
Bites the webbing of her hand between her thumb and her pointer finger. Rain looks at JD and says, she took a chunk out of me. JD points his gun at the doctor, saying to stay back. Don't move. Doctor is not listening. Shoots 5 shots into her. Does not budge an inch. Does not fall. Does not do anything. So Rain pulls out her semi-automatic rifle and just unloads. This shot, behind the scenes shot for this, was so fun to watch because, okay, first of all, the scene that's about to happen, so much fun to watch behind the scenes. Because instead of gunshot noises, you just hear someone going pew 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 pew.
Oh my god. That's so funny.
And I want to know if it's the actor shooting or if it's just like someone on set being like pew 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 pew. There's a gunshot there. There's a gunshot there.
Is this when they shoot the doctor and they go flying back? Insane.
Yeah, so Rain unloads a handful of bullets into her.
It goes flying back like
just
8 to 10 feet backwards.
In the behind the scenes, you can see the harness and the rip cable that throws them backwards. But no, the behind the scenes of this was so much fun to watch.
Oh, I bet. Must have been fun shooting the movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, at one point the director's like, okay, zombies, now remember when you're doing this. And it's like, soldiers, remember, if a zombie is 10 feet or nearer to you, you cannot shoot them. Do not aim at the face.
Yeah.
It was so good to watch. I love watching behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Kaplan, so it cuts back and forth. Kaplan says no one else is coming. Right as... okay, so this... Everything hits the fan here for a second, and this is where the movie kind of gets disconnected from all of the groups that we eventually get broken into.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, everyone from upstairs gets downstairs.
Yeah.
Except Alice and Matt, I think? Because down here... No, I'm not, honestly. I could not tell you if this is correct. I can probably tell you in a few sentences. No, because Matt's downstairs. I'm sorry, Spence is who I meant. Spence and... Okay, so we'll get there. At some point, Kaplan says no one else is coming for them. As they get surrounded by a freak ton of infected T-virus people, they start shooting around. Someone drops the handcuff keys, and Matt like flops to the ground trying to pick him up, and then gets caught under a table, and his leg catches on fire while zombies are attacking them. Kaplan is trying to type into the code into the elevator to go up and keeps mistyping it. JD eventually has to come over and have him yell at him to get the code. A bunch of things are happening. They're firing wildly, shooting into the cages, shooting into things around them. They're just stuck, hoping the elevator is going to get them out of this. Alice gets a flashback of talking to someone about giving them security codes, clearance, blueprints, and it's another woman, and you don't really get to see what she looks like. It's outside of the mansion. You just see statues and things. She gets a weird flash of that. This is where Matt drops under the floor, and his leg's on fire, and everything is just happening at once. Alice then saves him. JD gets the code in finally, and the elevator doors open, but he gets dragged into the elevator by the horde of freaking people we saw earlier, like the coffee guy and everyone in the elevator. Gets munched on and destroyed, and I think Rain reaches in there again. I think she gets bit again.
It's a very it's a bit of a comical scene almost, because he's like, at first Spence is like trying to get the door open. He's like, I don't know the code, and he's like, I think he asks like if anyone knows the code. Kaplan does, and the other dude says I do, and so like when he puts in the code and it goes green, he's like, see, that's all you had to do, or something like that.
So Kaplan yells the code out to him, and he's like, look, it's not that hard.
Yes, that's what it was. He's like, look, it's not that hard.
Yeah, and then the doors open, and he just gets
and
dragged.
Then there's a shit ton of zombies behind him, and you're just like, oh, oops. Yeah, it's not super comical, but it's definitely one of those,
it's like a tension-breaking scene.
Perfect timing, like, you know, like a very witty scene.
We get the first glimpse of really, really bad CGI, as in it probably looked great at the time, but it does not hold up, of something breaking out of one of the cages and crawling into the open world. It's really bad.
Yeah, it's not good.
According to Wiki, I don't know if at this stage, but eventually it gets called the liquor.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Is that
They're called liquors.
At this stage? Because
Yeah.
Okay.
At that specific stage.
Kaplan and Rain argue about what the T-virus infected people are. Kaplan says, those were people, they had badges, they were human. And Rain's like, they just attacked us and ate him. What do you mean? No, they're whatever they are, they're no longer human.
Yeah, they just took a bunch of bullets and didn't die. Like, they're not fucking human. Not anymore.
Kaplan then continues asking why they didn't encounter them originally. Rain snaps back with, when you shut down the Red Queen and everything opened, you let them out. You did this! Which is unfair, but true.
Yeah, but it's also unfair because that was their mission, was to go in and shut her down.
Yeah. So it's hard because technically, yes.
Technically, you're right, but you can't blame him because that was your goal and you were going to reach that point one way or another unless you died before getting to your objective for this mission.
Yeah. So Rain's just upset because they almost died and she got literal chunks of her body eaten.
That actress always plays the fiery kind of the pistol of the group who kind of like, even though there is a leader, she kind of still like can say and do her own thing, and you know, people leave her alone because she's just that fucking badass and like, don't fuck with me.
She reminds me of the mechanic from Atlantis.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, just gives off those strong ass vibes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
100%.
Love it.
I fucking...
Alice is by herself. This is where I'm confused, or where everyone is. Because Alice is by herself looking lost as fuck. And then she walks into the animal testing room, where you see all of the cages that had all those Dobermans. They're all empty and broken. Like something maybe broke out of it. And if you've ever played Resident Evil, the dogs. Eventually, luckily not these dogs, but the dogs in 5 that do the...
Oh, yes. Yeah.
The for lack of a better term, fly trap head. Ugh.
Yeah.
She hears something open, like maybe a cage door or something squeaking. And then you hear like the tippy taps and kind of sounds like a dog collar, like jingle. But he doesn't have, the puppy we see doesn't have a collar on. So it's his little tippy tap of his nails on the floor. And it's a dog.
It's a Doberman.
It's a Doberman covered in blood, guts, and gore.
Yeah, and like welts grossly in like some parts. Like you definitely know that this dog has been experimented on. It's
all practical effects. And they had a hell of a time getting the dogs to stop licking each other.
That's great.
To get the scenes.
That's cute.
So she gets chased and locks herself in the adjacent lab. As the Doberman slams against the wall, the door. Training kicks in immediately, finally, as a T-virus victim attacks her. She karate chops and punches and then does like a wild kick to the head, knocks this fucker over.
Yeah, like a jump karate kick. It's fucking wild.
This is a lot of the action when Alice is fighting is just over the top dramatic.
Yeah, but in a good way. It's like the type that you get into a specific mood and want to sit down and watch this type of movie. You know, it's like that kind of over the top. I don't know. It makes me think of The Matrix, like the Resident Evil movies a little bit, just because of like the over the topness.
Yeah.
But you know, when it comes to The Matrix, it's not even over the top. It's just The Matrix. So it's like, you know, I don't know.
I put it in the same category as like Kill Bill, where a lot of that stuff is just over the top, but you're just going with it because it makes sense for it.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
She knocks this thing down, right? Grabs its gun. Right as the dog bursts through the freaking glass window, slamming into this room, and she has to then unlock herself from this room, lock the dog back in that room, and as soon as she turns around, there is a pack of Doberman staring at her, growling, ready to attack. You don't see any of the dogs get shot. You see very weird shots of the dogs like flying or their weird side where you can totally tell it's a puppet. All dogs die in this movie, but it's very non-graphic. And
they're also like fucked up mutated dogs, sort of. They're not like so mutated that they don't even look like dogs anymore. They still look like Dobermans, but you can tell that they're mutated and probably, you know, just violent and not even really dogs anymore.
It feels more like putting them out of their misery than just shooting a dog.
100%.
She empties that clip shooting all of them.
Sorry, I just had flashbacks to fucking Together.
Yeah.
Christ.
Yep. Yeah. As soon as I said
God,
putting it out of its misery, I was like, oh. The last dog breaks out of where she had locked it, and she does again a flying wild. This kick. What is this kick? It's almost in. You would see this in a Jackie Chan movie or Bruce Lee movie where it just feels like Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior.
Oh my God.
Where she just...
At first I thought you were going to say Shanghai Noon.
Oh.
Because I fucking love those movies. But,
I love Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior. Another Disney movie. We can go off on a whole tangent with
love
those.
Brenda Song.
Brenda Song is so good. Matt is now by himself.
Yeah.
And he's in the office sector. I've been calling them sectors, and it makes me think of Abiotic Factor. But he's in the office sector, and he's looking at desks and rifling, and at this point, you're looking at Matt, and you're understanding they really did need to arrest you because obviously you are not an operative for Umbrella Corps. This makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He gets to a desk, gets an ID that says Lisa, and he's like, Lisa, and starts rifling through her desk like crazy. Gets jump scared by a T-virus fucker coming up onto the glass. Doesn't break, so he keeps searching. Kaplan, Spence, and Rain are by the elevator counting how much ammo they have left. Lisa, T-virused, appears and attacks Matt. Alice hits her on the head with one of those paperweights, pretty much. It's just a glass square paperweight.
Yeah.
She falls to the ground. You get a flashback of, this is the person that Alice has been talking to in these flashbacks of getting security codes and all the blah, blah, blah. This was the person that she was going to sell the T-virus to or give the T-virus to. We haven't gotten that far. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're about to in like 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay. I forgot.
I'm not making faces because of you. No, I'm just like, my brain is starting to short circuit a little bit, so I apologize.
No, you're good. In my head, I was like, oh, I just spoiled it early. I forgot the literal next two sentences are Matt talking about what's going on.
Yeah, because he's like, that's my sister.
That's my sister.
And he's like, she was supposed to break in here, or she had a contact from in here who had knew all the cameras, knew all the systems, knew all the security codes, like word for word, essentially, like what she remembered from the conversation. And so she's like, oh shit. And now you put it together that like, oh, Alice was the one who was trying to like, because she mentions it in the flashback, like, I don't care what you do, just expose Umbrella. Yeah. And so you're like, oh fuck, this is where we're at, which is crazy because as far as the operatives know, like she's still on their side. Mm-hmm. And so this is like, it's just, this expands everything so much.
Yeah. And Matt also explains that it's not just him and his sister. There's a whole like network of people trying to expose Umbrella Corp for being a really shady company that is doing genetic experiments that they shouldn't be doing. Because ethics and things and animal testing and just you really shouldn't be doing this.
I think it's probably fine. What could possibly go wrong?
No, nothing could go wrong. It's not like
zombies.
Raccoon City.
No way.
Is synonymous with outbreak. He talks about how his sister got sent in to work here because he couldn't do it. He would get exposed too easily. They speculate on what happened, and Matt's speculation is that the person who was her contact betrayed her, and this is the consequences of that. He also explains that it would sell like hotcakes and go for a lot of money on the black market. Yeah. Those two finally meet up with the other three at whatever elevator they've been hanging out at. Mm-hmm. And again, no one is coming for them. This was a mission that they were sent in. If you don't come out, that's it. Yep. They're the suicide mission type deal.
There's no extraction team. Yeah. You have to get out yourself.
You get out or you die. That's it. They have an hour to get out. Rain explains that the doors they came through originally that Kaplan had to hack in to get to are only open for a certain amount of time. They have this hour. She's got to watch, tracking the time. If those doors shut, that's it. So now we have all of this other stuff and now a timer put onto it as well. There's a fail-safe. There's a lot of like computer sciencey talk around the Red Queen, and half of it doesn't make sense to me because they talk about there being a breaker. And in my head, that's not how that works. A breaker isn't something that the AI is going to need to get through to do the thing. Maybe I'm just not computer savvy enough for this kind of talk, but it didn't make sense to me what they talk about.
It's definitely like early 2000s technology talk, whereas like you watch it nowadays with our modern technology and you're like, that's not how that works. But back then in science fiction, you could just get away with a lot because there was even more unknown back then.
Yeah, you could just say words.
Yeah. Whereas now, like, people will go online and criticize a movie about space for not being accurate. And you're like, bitch.
You go.
You want to fucking replace Sandra Bullock and fly around in space? I don't think so.
Try to replace Sandra Bullock.
Nobody can replace Sandy B.
We talk about her so often.
I swear to God, we talk about Sandra Bullock more often than not, and I'm okay with it.
She's amazing. We love her.
Bless.
Kaplan tries to talk Alice out of turning the Red Queen back on, but Alice is adamant that they do because she's gonna know a way out. Mm-hmm. She knows this place like the back of her hand. They get to her. Again, my brain gets very disconnected from this point forward because this whole scene, everyone's moving around and doing shit, and they just need to stop splitting the damn party because I can't keep up with where everyone is. Yeah. I also don't have a good idea of, I think there's only like 4 locations that they actually film on, but it feels a lot like Grave Encounters or Alien where you don't see them get from place to place.
Yeah.
So you're so lost on where everyone is all the time.
Yeah, 100%. And because of the setting, specifically like an underground research facility, it's all going to have similar lighting. It's all going to have similar background props. And so it's a bit easier for scenes to kind of blend together. And it's also easier to lose track of the characters because one character may go off in a different room that looks very similar to the one that everyone else is in. And you're like, oh, wait, she's on her own in a different place? How did she get here? And now she's back with everyone else? Okay, like the whole thing with the dogs. Yeah. It's like,
she just
where the fuck was everyone?
Yeah, she just goes from the dogs to being back with them with no example or why didn't anyone come to her rescue? It's hard. It's a little rough. But they get to the Red Queen's room is what happens. Mm-hmm. And they turn her back on. Because they were fighting in that's right, because they were all talking about, they move away from the elevator to the room where Kaplan had to hack into the main computer to get the door open to get to the Red Queen. That's where they end up. And so while they're here, Kaplan's trying to convince Alice to not go back into the Red Queen's domain and turn her back on. But this is where she explains that she has to, so they go back in there.
Alice is she essentially says that like the Red Queen's the only one who's going to know how to get out of here. Do you have any better ideas? And they're essentially like, nope, but this is still a really fucking bad one.
So they turn back on the Red Queen, and Matt, of all people, starts asking questions. He's asking about the T-virus, what it does, all of this kind of stuff. And this is where we get that it's a zombie virus. It reduces human function down to surviving off the base level, which is to feed.
Yeah, essentially like the electrical impulses in your brain don't immediately die out when you die, and so the T-virus essentially like puts that into overdrive and allows the brain to give enough function to the body, just enough. Again, then it's only true like carnal trigger is just that it's like
is hungry.
So yeah, it's zombies.
It's zombies. And you have to. She also continues saying you have to kill them by headshots. You have to
sever the spinal cord.
Yeah.
At the top of the neck. And you're like, oh, so shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
I think that's what Rain says, actually, or Alice. One of them is like, oh, so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Rain who says, okay, headshot, got it.
Yeah.
They then ask about why she killed everyone down here. She explains that the T-virus escaped and that it it can be vapor, and then once it gets into a body, it then can be transferred by blood.
So this virus can evolve depending on however it needs to
survive,
transfer, or like, spread. So it can turn from like a liquid into a gas so that it can spread through the air. And then, yeah, once it goes into your bloodstream, then it, you know, it infects your blood. So like it's a one-trick virus.
It's wild. And at this point, you're supposed to put together, oh shit, Rain's been bitten.
Mm-hmm.
And you look over at Rain.
Especially because the Red Queen explicitly is like,
one bite, one scratch.
One scratch even from an infected, and
you're gone.
You're gone. Yeah. Unfortunate for Rain.
The Red Queen then brings up, oh, I see you blocked my breaker. Is there a reason for blah, blah, blah? And it's pretty much, they're holding her hostage. Yeah. Whatever they can cut her off her access to this breaker so she can't do what she wants to do. So she has to listen to them because that's how holding a hostage a computer works.
I'm trying not to laugh right now. It's just like, it's a little fucking silly.
It's
goofy.
It's goofy.
It's like,
yeah.
They're holding a computer hostage. It's not as stupid when you watch it. It's like, it makes sense when it's happening because you're like, well, yeah, they got to get the information out. Yeah. How else would they? But
it's not like they have a gun to a Mac and are just like, no, do what I say.
I'll shoot your children.
But it's essentially what is it? Like, you know.
Oh my God. They throw their iPhone down on the floor and just like raise their foot up like they're
gonna drop you in some water.
Fucking do it. Oh my God.
They get a way out or to something. I don't know. I lost a little track of dialogue here.
It's okay.
They make their way into like a sewer/utility thing in the ground where they get kind of lost, and Spence is an asshole about it. He's the guy, he's like Doug in 28 Days Later, who's just saying, we're lost, we're not going anywhere, and just like getting really grumpy about it. Mm-hmm. So Rain grabs him, shoves him up against one of these giant ass sewer grates. Pretty much tell him to get his head out of his ass, get your shit together, and then just hands come out and just link onto him and hold him tight against the grate. Mm-hmm. I love this. I love
it's so good.
Like this. And they hold him, and then the horde descends, and they have to fight like hell. And I mean, like, a horde descends into these pipes.
It is a wall to wall. These zombies are like stuffed shoulder to shoulder, like meandering through each other. Terrifying. Mm-hmm. It's just a wall. And it's not like a World War Z wall, because they're not like super fast or anything. They're just like, they're pretty normal zombies. They're not slow, especially slow. They're not especially fast. They're just
human average.
Yeah.
Except they don't feel pain.
But that makes sense as far as like how they describe the T-virus working. So, and
from what you playing the games, it also makes sense because of what you know they're trying to do with the T-virus.
Yeah. Which,
if you don't know, they're just doing human experimentation. They're trying to make super soldiers, is what it comes down to, just about.
Mm-hmm. Which, God, the nod to Nemesis.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Again, the whole thing is it boils down to human experimentation, and this is just a side effect because it's not proper yet. Spence, Alice, and Matt get off the ground because they're able to climb onto these pipes that are anchored to the ceiling, and because these are just human zombies, they can't jump 20 feet in the air or have any really special abilities at all. Mm-hmm. They're safe up there. They try to grab Kaplan, but he gets dragged back down and is getting like gnawed on. JD appears and attacks Rain, who at this point you're like, girl, you're keeping it together real well. Like, what is happening? Why are you so good with this, right? Mm-hmm. She gets bit on the neck by this fucker.
Yeah. Obviously,
badass about the whole situation. Fights, blah, blah, blah. They fight through the horde. They get her up onto the pipes. They finally they can get Kaplan up there too. I thought he was a goner, but they get him up there.
Yeah.
And they're
like shuffling across above all these zombies.
And then Kaplan's lost all hope though. He's like, the Red Queen's right. We're all going to die down here.
Yeah. And eventually him and Alice are like crawling over these pipes, and then like a half of it like collapses. And so they like fall into the group of zombies, and Alice like stays on the pipes but is like on the upper half of it. The other dude not so lucky.
Kaplan falls into the horde.
He falls into the horde, and it is not good.
Yeah, Spence and Matt are able to pull Alice up so she doesn't get fully attacked. He's getting attacked, but he's able to climb some other pipes and get to up in a closer area by himself. And Alice wants to go save him. She's like, stay right there, we're gonna come get you. He lets her babble for a while before he says, no, You guys need to get the fuck out of here. We're all not going to die here. Go. And in my head, I just was like, go on, get out of here.
Go on, get. We don't want you here no more. Get.
He then empties out his revolver into his hand, and it's, what, 5
empty casings and 1 bullet. And he's like, fucking figures.
So you see him like raise it to his mouth, and he shoots once, and apparently he Russian roulette this shit. Is what he shoots in his mouth once, and it doesn't take. And we get cut over to the other people who are like piling through the pipes, and it cuts back over to Kaplan, who you hear a gunshot. You're like, oh, he fucking shot himself. Cuts back to Kaplan. He shot another zombie. Yeah. And just throws his gun and says, you're going to have to work for your food. And Army crawls his way up these pipes. And you're like, sure, I guess.
Yeah.
And we have very low survival instincts. I don't even know if I'd make it this far. No. But in my head, I was like, would I rather Russian roulette or get eaten alive? I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't see us move. It's not helpful. I'm going back and forth. I'm weighing scales over here.
Yeah, I'm kind of just like nodding my head and trying to like weigh through it, but I genuinely don't know. I don't think I would Russian roulette it. I'd maybe just make sure I was the lucky one in that scenario, because I don't want to get eaten alive. But he saw a way out, so
yeah, I don't know.
This next scene, they're like, is this where they're just like sitting up on the pipes?
They are up on the pipes for a second.
Rain's like sitting there squeezing her hand.
Oh no, that was before. We skipped over that.
It was?
But yeah, it was before everything happens. But Rain's literally squeezing her hands, feeding the zombies like piranhas. Like these.
Like, yeah, you like that? You like that? You sick fuckers.
You like the way that tastes? Rain's so cool.
Oh my god.
But they crawl through the pipes up. Okay, this movie made me think a lot of Alien, because there's a bunch of weird shit that just doesn't make sense. Like this whole room that the separating from Kaplan happens in. What is that? What? There's water dripping from places. None of it makes sense.
The only thing I can imagine is like you have to have a power and water part of the facility. You know, like the maintenance areas down below. And that's my only thought.
My thought with having an underground facility is I would put all of that shit at the top. Because they already have the city, right? So they already have the city up top, so it's easier to tap into all of those utilities at the top than it is to dig billions of feet into the ground to then do it at the very bottom. I don't know. It made me think of that scene in Alien where they're in that room that doesn't make sense.
There's just chains hanging from a ceiling 30 feet up with water coming down.
And we were like, a condensation room. Sure.
Yeah, water's wet. It's fine.
Pretty much what's happening in here. They crawl through something, and then there's like a grate that they're able to toss up and get into the labs again. Sure, why not? Mm-hmm. They get into the flood. Oh, right before this is before that. My notes are a little wonky for this one. They're walking through the labs, getting like Rain is being held by Spence and Matt. Because she is not doing well. Mm-hmm. She throws up at one point and just spews everywhere. And this line, when I get out of here, I'm getting laid.
Yeah.
Spence just says, yeah, you deserve it. And she kind of sounds like she's stuck in prison instead of just dying by a T-virus.
He doesn't even say you deserve it. He says, like, you should probably wash off first. Which is like, dude, really?
He's trying to make light of it.
Yeah, that's not the comment I would make. You want to call out that she's smelly too?
Oh, I took off
like in hell. You're worried about how she smells?
I was thinking it was because she threw up.
Oh,
that he was commenting on like you should clean up because you just threw up everywhere.
That makes sense.
Not that that she's dying.
I don't think I saw her throw up when I was watching. I might have like looked away for a second, but it was also dark.
Yeah.
There's a portion like in this portion where they're like in the
pipes
and stuff. It's dark, not like pitch black, but you know, it's not like the bright white lighting that you see in like the labs or the office sector or anything like that.
Yeah. So once they get up here, Alice zones in on one of these flooded lab things that kind of looks like a giant fish tank, and she's getting flashbacks. But it kind of looks like a vision. It's a really weird thing where it kind of cuts in and out of people walking in the place looking normal. Mm-hmm. And she's watching a bunny get shot up with a blue virus and then a green one. and she's muttering to herself. Matt comes over and knocks her out of it. And she looks at him and says, there is a cure. There's a fucking cure.
Blue is virus, green is antidote. Holy shit. That's what she's like muttering. And so when he comes up to her, she's like, there's a cure. Oh my God. And then she looks down the hall and is like, Rain, you're going to be fine. There's a cure. And then she goes into the room.
Matt follows her. And she tells Matt that she's Lisa's contact. And Matt is a total dick about it, saying, you sold her out. You betrayed her. And she's like, I don't fucking know. And he's like, I want the truth. Bitch. I lost my memory. What do you mean you want the truth? I don't even know the truth.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what I remember.
Like, I'm getting shit back in pieces, bro.
So Rain and Spence come into this flooded lab as well, as Alice is trying to find what she knows to be like the suitcase that has everything, and it's not there. And Rain's sitting down and she's just defeated, saying, I can't do this, man. Like, it's over. I'm done.
Is this when Spence has his flashbacks?
Yep.
Yeah. So Spencer gets flashbacks. He gets flashbacks to him using like a parabolic microphone in the mansion, listening to Alice and Lisa talk out in the garden or the graveyard or whatever of the mansion about, you know, the information exchange and, you know, exposing Umbrella. And then it shows a flashback of him going into the lab. It's him in that suit of the dude we saw in the beginning.
The hazmat suit with...
And he's putting the vials in the suitcase. And then it shows him pulling the blue vial out and him throwing it across the room.
And him knocking into the guy with the coffee.
And him running into the guy with the coffee. And you're like, oh my God, it all makes sense now.
And he wrote the note about all of your dreams coming true.
Yeah.
Which Alice is very confused about and talks to him about.
Yeah.
Spence wants to sell the virus. This is what he's talking to Alice like, we sell it. There's so much money in this. And this is where she says, is that what you meant by all of my dreams are about to come true? He's like, yeah, just fuck these bitches. Just come hang out with me. We got money. And she's like, I'm trying to expose Umbrella Corp. I don't want the money. Yeah. I want them to destroy. Yeah. And he's like, well, fuck you then. And Matt tries to go after him because he killed his sister, is responsible for his sister's death. Spence says people like Matt don't change things. Things don't change. You exposing Umbrella Corp is going to do nothing. Why try to fight it?
I hate to say it, but to an extent, I agree with him. And the reason I say that is, I mean, we've experienced it firsthand over the last like 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. The Epstein files, shit gets exposed and nothing happens.
Everyone just knows and nothing goes on.
Everyone knows that shit sucks and nothing changes.
He's not wrong. And it sucks.
You know, I don't necessarily blame him for his position, but also, like, if he felt like he was someone who could make a difference, if you can't beat him, join him, was his kind of thought process of like, well, it doesn't matter if we expose him, so I'm just going to do the thing that'll benefit me and, you know, sell the fucking virus. Yeah. But also, that's so fucking narrow-minded.
It's just I always call it the NPC mindset.
Because you're gonna sell that to someone in the black market who's gonna sell that to a different country who's probably gonna want to use that against you and your country.
No, for me, it's the me mindset, right? It's like, well, this benefits me, and I don't care how it affects anything else. It's the leopard eating in the face, right? Well, I don't care as long as the leopards don't eat my face. You know, do your thing, or like I said, I always call it the NPC mindset of anyone who isn't me or someone I care about is an NPC and they don't matter. Yeah. And so I don't fucking care. I'm going to sell it because this gives me money. I don't care how it affects you. Yeah. It's just what it is. Rain asks for the antivirus and Spence explains that it's all on the train. He was this close to escaping when they found him. He didn't realize that the Red Queen had defense mechanisms outside of the hive. He was caught off guard. A scientist attacks him. A T-virus scientist attacks him, and then Matt and then Alice stares him down as he leaves. So he shoots the scientist, whatever, blah, 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 gets out of the room. He shoots the control panel so the door locks, and they're stuck in there, and there's no real way out. And then the Red Queen pops on, chimes, saying, I've been a very bad girl, and I hate it. You're a child. You shouldn't be saying that sentence, and it gives me the ick.
Yeah.
And Spence won't get away with it. Oh, that's why. I was like, why is this Matt? It's not Matt. Spence gets the suitcase at the train, shoots himself full of the antivenom. Antivenom? What? Antivirus.
Does he get to it?
Mm-hmm.
Or I thought he like was about to, and then
He gets all the way over, and he gets it in his arm, and I don't know if he gets to pull the trigger. But he has like the tourniquet on, and he's like going for it. When
he gets attacked by the liquor.
God, that just makes it worse. And now I'm just thinking of a lick-a-tongue.
It's not as terrifying because the lick-a-tongue is cute. Lickers are, if you've never seen them, they are fleshy. People they walk on four legs, but it's not like they're like dog shaped. It's like almost like if a human walked on four legs, sort of. But
if humans could bend their legs to walk on all fours without your butt being in the air proper.
Yeah, and then its head. There's no face. It's just like the brain
and a mouth with a giant tongue,
long ass fucking tongue
that has like welts and boils on it.
Yeah,
Ugh.
This thing fucks up Spence and is not good CGI.
It's not.
But it's okay because it's a 2002 Resident Evil movie. You can't expect AAA fucking. This isn't Tenet, all right? Like, calm down.
The Red Queen is showing it on the screen she's talking from, and you get to watch the liquor mutate. And this is what I was talking about earlier. Is I wasn't sure if I know at this stage it's a liquor. I didn't know if devouring human flesh it was also a liquor.
See, I thought that it was more specifically the liquor before it evolved. And I don't necessarily know what it is after it evolves. It might just still be a liquor. It might just be
a different version,
like an alpha, or something.
So, either way, we don't know. It's a liquor. The Red Queen says she doesn't deal in chance, and she wasn't going to risk people's lives just to rely on an antivirus. Because Alice is like, "Why the fuck did you trap us? Why didn't you tell us there's an antivirus?" She's like, "I don't deal in chances. It might not work, especially." And it's very pointedly the camera is looking at Rain with how long you've been infected. We're so far out of when this testing has been done that Rain's been infected for a hot second that she's not willing to chance that the antivirus will work on Rain at this point. The Red Queen makes a deal saying she'll unlock the door if they kill the one that's infected. Again, Rain. She'll give them the code. Rain is sitting there, and she's like, yep, nope, she's fucking right. And throws an axe over to Alice saying, yeah, just kill me. Like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want us all to die. And then you get this sensory overload of the Red Queen saying kill her and Rain saying kill me. And Alice is freaking out, being like, I don't want to fucking kill you. I don't want you to die.
Alice swings the axe, and then it cuts to Rain's face, and then it cuts to the axe colliding with the computer screen.
Because fuck your only chance to get out of here.
Yeah. But also, like, I can admire, like, never sacrificing a human's life, no matter, like, what the scenario. Like, as much as it sucks, because, like, yeah, if that's the way to get out, why wouldn't you? Also, like, I don't know, there's something noble about taking the moral high ground and just being like, I'd rather die than kill someone else.
It's an odd hubris, though.
It is, 100%.
Because you haven't read the Percy Jackson books, right?
Not the books, no.
So the books talk about how every hero has a fatal hubris. Or a fatal flaw, right? And they go through, that's how heroes die, is if they don't know what their flaw is, they lean into it. And Percy's fatal flaw is he believes he can save everyone.
Yep.
And that's what it kind of feels like with Alice, is she believes she can save everyone.
That was Spider-Man's problem.
Yeah.
No Way Home. That was the whole thing. He could not solve everyone's problems. He couldn't get his friends into college while also saving all the villains and turning them good again. He just could, just not how that works. Bad shit happens. Heroes
tend to, I feel like, have this flaw quite a bit. Of I want to save everyone, and it's literally impossible.
Yeah, I think it's a really good storytelling mechanic because it's really powerful. Like, that moral quandary is like, that's like big development for anyone to go through.
Yeah.
You know, and so like to put someone in that position and make them have to make that hard choice is like, you know, once they see that they can't save everyone, you know, that's when certain things start to click, and then you're like, oh shit, like here we fucking go. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's decent.
Have you seen the thing of why people are obsessed with the morally gray like villains? Is because the villain will always choose you and the hero will always choose the world.
That's fucking sick.
Right? Like,
you know, I think that's why I really like My Hero Academia, because the way that they shine a light on the villains and how
they make sense.
Like, I mean, you know, early on example for the show, Stain, like his whole ideal was so well portrayed that you almost want to like root for him in a weird way, even though he's like the hero killer. And like, it's so, but like the, oh my God, it's like the religious psychosis. What do you call it? That like, oh God.
Is it not religious psychosis? Is that not the term you're looking for?
There's a specific word or...
Fanatic?
Yes. Like, that was one of the best portrayments of like a fanatic that I think I've ever seen in like modern media, because it's so intense, but it's so like
all of My Hero Academia's villains besides Chisaki I understand and get behind. Chisaki is the only one, and I get it to a point.
Piece of shit.
Chisaki's a piece of shit, but he's also, his whole goal is that he wants to bring his father's reputation and the world that his dad was on top of the world on back. He wants his family name to be good again, right? In a twisted way, he goes about it really, really wrong. It's just, he's my least favorite villain.
That's fair.
But that, you want to talk about good character arcs and understanding villains? My God, My Hero Academia does it amazingly.
Yeah.
And I know a bunch of people give up on it during the sports festival, but like, it's a break to remind you that these are fucking 14-year-old kids doing this.
Also, there's some fucking insane shit that happens during the sports festival.
Yeah, well, and then everyone, like, because everyone loses interest there. And then with, everyone sees La Brava and the Gentle Hero as throwaway characters, and you're like, get through it, motherfucker, they're not throwaway characters.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a throwaway character in My Hero.
Oh, dude.
That's the podcast we'll be talking about.
I still get the chills just thinking about Midoriya, like, flicking his broken fingers just so that he can still stay in the fight.
With Todoroki?
Like, he's like, well, my fingers are broken, but it's all I know and have. So fuck it.
I can barely move, but I'm still gonna do it.
Holy shit, dude. I mean, oh God, I get the chills just thinking about it.
Dude, me and my wife talk about this all of the time. Hero, phenomenal. It was phenomenal, perfectly done.
So
Loved it.
So good. Oh.
So the whole system shuts down, and the door opens, and it's Cap. Cap's alive.
Yeah.
For a long time, I thought they were calling him Captain, but it's Kaplan. And so them calling him Cap, I was also like, cross wires in my brain again.
Yeah.
So they get out of the lab. They book it to the train, finding Spence's mangled body in the suitcase. So Alice delegates. Get in the train, get it running. I'm going to get the suitcase. Goes over. Spence's body is not moving. Gets close to it. He looks up and has these stark blue-gray eyes just at her, going after her, and it's so good. Like, I change color things is one of my favorites. I love that trope so much when the eye color changes.
100%.
Oh, I think I've talked to you about this book series before, the Lightbringer series. Their whole thing is like when they use their magic enough, their eye color changes, and once it breaks the iris, they go insane.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's so good.
That's cool. That, I don't know why, and like that doesn't even really have any correlation, but for some reason that like made me think of Soul Eater.
Oh, interesting.
I don't even fucking know why. I just like, because there's no like limit break for them necessarily. It's just
it's just like they evolve.
What a good fucking anime though.
I love Soul Eater.
Sorry. A
lot of side tangents about
Yeah.
things we love right now. So Spence
To be fair, we're right on track for timing, so.
Are we? Oh yeah, look at that. Fantastic. We're actually ahead of schedule because I only have 3 paragraphs left.
Shit.
Yeah, this is only 4 pages of notes instead of my usual 5.
Probably partially because you couldn't pause.
Yeah. I have less dialogue and things written.
It's okay. I've liked the tangents that we've filled today's episode with.
Yeah, it's been good. So Spence's mangled body is crawling after Alice, who kind of just steps backwards a little bit and out of his reach. She has the axe again and decapitates him.
Yeah, she says, like, so there's a line that Spence says when he leaves the room earlier, like after getting in the scuffle with everyone and like killing that other zombie.
Mm-hmm.
He like says a fucking quirky line to her, and then she just says it back to him, like right as she's about to fucking take his head off with the axe. It's so perfect. I don't remember what she says, but like you can just feel the badassness.
I'm trying to think of it off the top of my head and I can't either. It was a good line. I should have written it down.
Yeah.
Cap is on the train with everyone else and they're getting it like hooked up, the power turned on, everything's ready to go. Alice gets on the train, shoots up Rain with the antivirus, who is kind of muttering and saying, hey, I don't want to be a soulless thing wandering around. I don't want that fate. You will take care of this if it happens. And Alice is just sitting there saying, it's not going to happen. We're shooting you up right now. You're good. And Rain's head kind of just falls. And Alice hits her leg and the leg falls. She didn't get there fast enough. Rain's gone.
So Alice picks up the gun and points it at Rain's head in, waiting for Rain to eventually turn. And all of a sudden, Rain's hand comes up and grabs the gun super fast and kind of startles Alice. And she's like, not dead yet. And you're like, holy shit.
And freaking Alice looks at her and is like, I could kiss you, you dumb bitch.
Yeah. And yeah, what a fucking line. Holy shit.
I believe they also give it to Kaplan, if I remember correctly.
Yes, they do.
They get the train going, and it's fucking going.
Mm-hmm.
When the liquor catches up to them, and it is clawing at doors, it is breaking in. The side door where Kaplan is running the train gets ripped off, and Kaplan gets ripped out, and Matt comes up and is slamming all the doors, trying to lock everything. And I'm like, dude, he just broke through that door. What is locking this other door gonna do?
He like slashed claw marks in the wall next to you, open. Like, closing a door, I mean, might buy you a couple seconds. I get it, I guess, but like, it's not gonna do much.
No.
And it doesn't.
It doesn't. And Alice even gets a headshot in this thing, and it does not stop it.
Yeah. She shoots it in the head, and it just kind of like flinches the tiniest bit. It's not even necessarily fazed by it.
Which is also thematic game-wise of the bigger the creature, the more headshots you have to get in it to make it drop.
Yeah.
Matt impales it with a thing of pipes. So talk about not making any sense of what the hell is on this train. So this thing gets into a scuffle with Alice. Matt is able to back away into this hanging net of just random pipes that he can swing backwards and then slam into it. That buys enough time for Alice to get up off the ground, get a pipe. The liquor is still coming at them. She gets the pipe, slams the tongue into the floor grate of a train. Sure, that's fine. That's normal.
Yeah, just like with one of the pipes, it's like got an angled edge, so it's not, just like a round flat bottom. It's like edged and sharp. She jams it into this thing's tongue and through the floor of the train. And
because the floor is just a weird grate gate. It's weird.
Yeah.
And she yells at Matt to open the gate. Open the gate. Open the gate. You look over. Rain is turned.
Rain is attacking Matt.
And you got the eye color change.
She's got the blue eyes. It was too late.
Screams at him and showing all of her like fucked up teeth. And Matt ends up having to shoot her, which sends her hitting the button to open the floor gate that the liquor falls into and is getting dragged along the tracks and catches on fire.
Yeah.
And then they hit the button again, which cuts its tongue off, so it's no longer attached to the train.
The door closes, cuts the tongue, and then it falls off, and it's just sitting there on the tracks on fire.
Which incendiary grenades are a solid way to take care of those things.
Yeah.
The train comes to a halt, and they have 14 seconds to make it out of the doors, which they easily do. They get up the stairs, and they even watch the door closes. Closes? What? The doors close. They're in the mansion. They wander through this hall into the side room where Alice just collapses, saying she failed. This is all her fault. Matt's trying to console her, saying you did everything you could. You were on top of it. Like, we have this now. We can break Umbrella Corp. Like, we have everything we need. And then they are descended upon by people in hazmat suits who Alice fights off like really fucking well. She's punching people, she's fighting, and
she's kicking butt.
They grab Matt.
They drag him away. They put him on like a stretcher and strap him in. And then they look at the scratches because he's like, you know, like kind of...
his arm is like spasming a little bit.
His arm is spasming and like throbbing, and he's wincing and like groaning. And they put him on this stretcher, and they're like, put him in the Nemesis program. And you're like, oh. Fuck. Oh my God.
The other goons finally get Alice restrained enough and sedate her, right? Like they are not doing well. These are techs. They're not fighters.
Yeah.
They get her sedated. We get flashes of her being looked at, of like doctors talking and random scenes of ceilings and lights and this stuff about her, and they are reopening the hive to see what happened, and this voice is just like narrating all of this, right? This male voice, and it's like, I don't give a shit. We're gonna take a look anyways, and blah blah blah. Take her to the facility in Raccoon City. And she wakes up, and you know, I said this to my wife. I was like, the amount of movies that Milla Jovovich wakes up naked and doesn't know what's happening is at least 2, and that's wild.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy.
And it happens twice in one movie, which is even more wild.
Yeah, so at least 3 times she has woken up naked
and
just
confused.
And confused. Yeah, 100%. Because she does again. She wakes up strapped, well, not really strapped into this chair, but like she's...
Think of like an alien abduction. She's in the middle of this white room with a bunch of tubes in her.
Yeah.
And not in a dressing gown. She's like, has paper taped to her.
And it's not a couple IVs. It's like needles attached to tubes, and they're in like groups on her arms
and her head.
In her head, like in her temples. And she starts ripping them out very painfully. Mm-hmm. I mean, with every rip, it's like horrible pain. Yeah, especially the one in the heads.
Yeah.
Heads.
And in multiple of her heads, we forgot to mention.
Especially, you know, those.
The ones in her temples. And like the one, she pulls out one from her hand, and hand IVs. Oh, they give me the heebie-jeebies.
Fuck that.
And like zooms in on the needle that's all bloody on the tray and stuff. And she goes to sit up, and her legs give out because who knows how long it's been since she's actually stood. And she like cowers back under the table, kind of looking around, and then notices there's a one-way mirror. She goes up and like starts banging on it. And you get a zoom out shot of her on the opposite side of the mirror into this control center where it has a bunch of like her vitals and cameras and this kind of stuff. And there's no one there until you see this thing groan zombie style across the back. And there's nothing. And the rest of this is very 28 days later.
Yes.
Of her walking through the hospital, finding a lab coat to put on, and then walking into Apocalyptic City.
She walks outside. And she looks over, and then the camera, it cuts to a burnt down car and a fucked up truck, and like the streets are just a mess.
There's a newspaper that says "The Dead Walk."
Yep. And then it cuts to a shot of her, and it zooms out like from above her, and it zooms out farther. Well, no, she ends up walking up to, what is it, a police car?
Yeah, she finds a police cruiser, steals a shotgun out of it.
And then cocks the shotgun, and then it zooms out, and
she's in a lab coat with papers taped to her in Raccoon City with a shotgun.
In the middle of the apocalypse, 28 days later style.
Wild.
And that's the end of the movie.
That's the fucking end of this movie.
I really gotta go watch the next one now, because like it's like got me pumped, you know?
I love these movies. Again, It's not true to the source material, but in a way that I enjoy. It feels like you're getting an extra story from the world. Like, you're not following Leon, you're not following Chris.
Yeah.
You don't have established characters, but you get, like, just the feel of someone else traversing Raccoon fucking City, man. Yeah. Resident Evil style, who's still a badass, who just... I so wish that Rain would have also survived and they could have done this together.
Yeah.
Like, Rain was such a kick-ass character.
Oh, this reboot coming out this year, I am so fucking excited for. Did you watch the trailer?
I haven't seen it. No, I haven't seen anything on it.
You're gonna watch the trailer with me before you leave.
Okay.
I'm so excited. I'll show you the trailer and you'll be like, "Oh fuck yeah!" But yeah, the Resident Evil 2002. I mean, it's a classic. If you like the games, I would recommend go watching this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Not because it's explicitly like the games, but it's just enough that it's like, it's just that universe and they hit all the points right. It's just a fun fucking romp with some zombies and some crazy deaths, and you get to see a liquor. So, like, you know.
It's a fun time. I, again, really like the original series with Milla Jovovich in it. They did a reboot in 2021.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. I was just taking a look at it.
Oh, I remember that.
I didn't watch it. It was Welcome to Raccoon City. Go fucking watch it. I love this movie. Mm-hmm. Besides the shitty CGI, the music choices are really fun because it feels like you're at a rave.
Dude, the music choices, there's like that grungy guitar, those like grungy guitar riffs that are just like, that get your fucking blood pumping, and you're just like, oh hell yeah.
It would be a really good workout mix.
Oh, 1,000%. That's such a pump up mix, dude. Oh my god.
It's good. Highly recommend. Add it to the fucking list.
Add it to the list. Go watch it.
Watch it, especially before the new one comes out.
Yes. Go watch this and then go watch the new one so that you can have such different experiences.
Yeah, I'm very stoked.
Because you'll see this trailer and you're gonna be like, oh, that's nothing like Zach Krager's going fucking crazy.
It's Zach Krager, of course he is.
Oh god, go watch this movie.
Go away, go watch it.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Follow our Instagram and threads at No Self Service Pod. Until next time.